Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 25 seconds.
When you and a team of scientists set out to explore a new planet filled with life forms, disaster strikes when your spacecraft crashes. You find yourself separated from your crew, you're low on oxygen, and it turns out there's not much of anything on this new world at all. This is Lifeless Planet.
Or is it?
I wasn't quite sure what to make of this game at first. It's brought to us by indie developer Stage 2 Studios, and is apparently inspired by classic adventure games like The Dig and Another World. But it takes a good while to get going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. As I wandered around the planet with not much of anything around to do or interact with, I had the worrying feeling of, is this it? But exploring the vastness of that desolate landscape, I really did get a sense of what it must be like to land on another planet and feel totally alone.
Yeah, that's true. I also like that there's very little to guide you in any direction except for the subtlest of formations or flashes of light in the distance. It almost reminded me of Journey in that way. You know, you find yourself drawn in a particular direction but you don't know why.
Once you find yourself some oxygen, you can then set out to explore this new world in search of life. This game is described as a puzzle platformer, and my second worry came when I found that the puzzles weren't that challenging.
I need to get up there somehow.
Yeah, I got it, buddy.
Yeah, it didn't bode well for the fun factor. But then the game takes an interesting turn, doesn't it? Turns out you weren't the first to discover this planet. Abandoned civilization and further investigation uncover a former Russian settlement who had arrived on this planet and begun experimenting with its then abundant life and vegetation.
But something clearly went wrong because...
everybody's dead.
So dead.
These graves seem pretty makeshift.
All that's left is a mysterious trail of scientific logs and diaries for you to follow in order to try and figure out what happened here. So you continue through this strange world, uncovering the clues and events of the past, and the secrets this planet holds, and as you do, you'll start to come across some pretty incredible landscapes. Former Soviet structures and strange alien organisms. It all started to grow on me, Hex.
Me too. It is slow to start and, well, let's be honest, it's a slow burn throughout.
Yes, you will spend a lot of your time just running.
But there is a mystery at the core of this game that I felt compelled to uncover, and each new area is just so strange and different. You know, I can always tell how much I've loved exploring in a game by how many screenshots I've taken by the end, and even though this isn't the most graphically impressive game, I took a lot of screenshots.
Yeah, me too. It makes you feel like a true explorer, doesn't it? The unfamiliarity of the land, coupled with the unsettling nature of what happened before you, drives you ever deeper into the story. And there's a bit of space nerdery to bask in as you discover more complex structures, both human and non-human.
Not to mention the puzzle platforming started to get a little more interesting, which was a relief. It's never anything too taxing, mostly figuring out the best way to navigate the terrain or power up alien structures in order to progress. But you also have a little jetpack which you occasionally get extended booster fuel for, and I just love jetting my way across rocky platforms. Oh no!
Ah, jetpacks. Jetpacks just make me happy, Hex. I think where this game really falls down though is in those transitions between areas and also the cutscenes. It's quite rough and often abrupt. Occasionally, a short cutscene will end and suddenly you're in a new area, which kills that sense of continuity. I also could have done with a few more puzzles and a lot less running. And once again, this is a story-driven game which is fed to you through letters and diaries, and I'm just getting a bit tired of that.
I don't mind story diaries as long as they're succinct, which these were, I think. And, you know, I made my peace with the running. I kind of just zenned out after a while and embraced the journey because there was so much to take in.
But there were quite a few areas that felt repeated to me, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the game could have used some heavy-handed editing, it's true. What did you think of the ending? I would have loved it if it weren't for the clunky awkwardness of the transitions you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it is frustrating, isn't it? I did like the little post-credit reveal, though.
Yeah, me too, although I didn't quite understand it. But a bit of online research led me to find out that this game was also very influenced by Tolstoy's Elita, which makes a lot of sense after reading the book's plot summary, and now I want to read the whole thing.
What are you going to give it overall, Hex?
Well, I love the way this game awakened a wonderful sense of curiosity in me, so I'm giving it 6.5.
Yeah, there is a magic to this game and the setting, and I love that, but I just feel like it's a bit too rough for its asking price, so I'm going to give it 5.5.
And now here's Goose with the news. Don't you look over there.